You know, if ADOT allows us or acquiesces to delaying their action, what would happen? Would that be the end of it? There would be no more discussion, there would be no more efforts on the part of council members as there was before the referendum to influence the outcome of the vote? Would there not be any further, I guess, real ill will in the community as people are trying to really influence the outcome of whatever the referendum is going to be? I believe that that's a real probable case where, again, we're going to be going at each other's throats, you know, until the referendum decision is made. So I don't think that, you know, it's council's intent. I'm just guessing to once, if they were successful in achieving a delay, that would be the end of it for this council or a lot of the people in this room. I think that there would be a strong action going out there and trying to influence the outcome, and I can see the battle is on. Another thing that really hasn't been brought up that I think that is really important is that ADOT's position from day one has been addressing the safety issues at night. And if they had their way, they would have put in lights 3 or 4 years ago, whenever this whole debate started. That hasn't changed. ADOT has delayed implementation of pedestrian safety measures for over 3 years now. And we had to really beg and plead for them to not make that decision and give the council more time to go out and educate the public so that we could get feedback from the public when they made that extension the last time. That was a very difficult negotiation that staff took on with ADOT, and ADOT said, okay, this is the last time that we're going to extend this. We have a liability issue out there, they say, that we need to address. And for council to be thinking that ADOT is going to somehow delay implementing safety measures out there for another June, July, August, September, October, November, 6 months is highly improbable, if not absolutely off the table. I think they've been very clear in terms of what their intent is now. They've delayed this long enough. They're going to address the pedestrian safety issues, and they want to do it now. They've already missed a time window for an overlay on the roadway for this year. So any further delays, obviously, there's been arguments about whether ADOT has a higher liability out there or not. I don't see how you can question that. They absolutely do. And they want to address that liability as soon as possible. I'm going to ask a question to both Tim and Mike. Has there been, during your communication with ADOT, during this whole process, and particularly recently, have they given you any indication, either one of you, that they would be willing to delay moving forward with safety implementations any longer? Has there been any indication whatsoever that they would do that? I'll ask Tim first.
The answer is no.
Mike?
Tim's really been the one that has been doing most of the communication lately. I communicated with their attorney from the Attorney General's office, but we really didn't get into those issues about delay and so forth. I can say that, you know, they were very chagrined at the referendum, and I think that's just the issue that they're dealing with now, is what does this mean?
You've been involved in these negotiations, and I'm just asking for a simple yes or no, Mike. Have you gotten any glimmer of hope that ADOT would even consider extending the implementations or moving forward with putting lights in or addressing the safety issues?
No, but I haven't broached that question with them specifically. At least I haven't.
Okay. So, you know, to me, it's really kind of a moot issue. On the other hand, when I look at Vice Mayor's argument about the election having any meaning, if the referendum moves forward and there is an election in November, what's the purpose? You know, the folks that are initiating the referendum would say, we want to validate that a majority of the people in this community do not want the roadway to be turned back. I question whether council would really issue a call for election on June 30th if the if the contract goes, it's already null and void, but if it goes dead on June 30th, you know, I question whether council would issue a call for an election anyway, because it's a moot point. So I'm not sure that that would happen. But if it did, I agree with Vice Mayor's argument that there needs to be some kind of purpose. You know, the voters need to have a choice. So if there is no choice, you know, what's the purpose of the election in the first place? So I think everybody should have a voice, actually, and all of a sudden I'm going to flip to the other side because I'm going to vote in support of the council going and talking to ADOT. And that may be a surprise to you, but I believe, after what I just got done saying, but I believe that the people should have a choice if there is an election. And that's the bottom line. I believe that the people should have always had a choice. And I believe that this should have gone to the people in the first place and not allowed this council to make that decision. So,